What up, bitches? It's the misanthropic one, aka He Who Hungers, and I'm back up in this bitch for another rant/review. Today I want to talk about this album right here, Ritz's latest album called Next to Nothing. Alright, I know a lot of y'all been waiting for this, and I've been waiting for this album myself. Shout out to the homie Rittz, shout out to the niggas at Strange Music. I know y'all show me love. Shout out to Tech 9. Y'all show me love by throwing me on your site, so love you guys for that. Rittz, I've talked about him before. I'm not really going to go into his history this time. Y'all know how I do things by now. Go check my last review if you want to get a little history lesson on this guy. But I will say this, he's a dope MC from the South, and this dude really knows how to spit it. He does the double time shit like no other. He got his own little style, his own little twang. Definitely a dope album right here, and I'm glad to have it. What can I start off with? Artwork. Artwork is dope as fuck. Very simple. Got him on the back, posing by a Chevy. This album kind of reminds me, when I saw this, it reminded me of that Too Short album, Born to Mac, where it's just all white and Too Short standing by the car, but Too Short is kind of behind the car, Rittz is in front of it. So artwork is kind of simple, but it says a lot. I love shit like this, you know, where it's not too crazy on the album cover, but you could still get something out of it. Let me get into some of the producers on this bitch. Hang on. Here's the inside of it right there on the CD. Is kind of cool. Let me turn it here so it's right side up. Right there is his, supposed to be his head, I guess, with the Strange Music emblem in between his face and his hair and shit, and the beanie. Alright, let's take this out here. Got more artwork, him inside the car. Doing all this shit. Got a hashtag in there. Not sure what that means. If someone knows what that is, the Clintel, let me know. Let's go into the producers. We got Corbin King, 5 Points Music Group, Stepan Lifted Taft, Michael 7 Summers, aka 7. Shout out to 7. He is the Strange Music in-house producer. He does a lot of shit for Tech 9. So shout out to 7. You have Jonah Maddock Lee. Okay. Craig Balmorris and Julia Nixon of Best Kept Secret. The Avengers, Reckless Beats, WLPWR, which I'm assuming is Willpower. I guess he changed his name. I'm just assuming. And you got Kato from Funk Volume, Track Bangers, Thomas T. Toner, and yeah, that's it for producers. Sound wise, it's very reminiscent. It has a southern, not really too much of a southern sound, but it's sort of the newish, clean hip hop. I guess the only way to describe it is if you listen to a lot of shit that comes out of Strange Music camp, just blend that with a little bit of the southern style that's out now, and that's what you get for primarily of the sound. on this shit. Sound, I'm not gonna complain too much about. Features on this bitch. You have Twista, Trader Truth, Mike Posner, who Rittz obviously is very comfortable working with because Mike Posner was on his last album, and Mike is on here twice. You have B.o.B, Yellow Wolf, Shorty Fat, and that's it for the features. You have 16 tracks. Some of these guys are doubled up on a couple tracks, and there's some that are helping them out as far as rapping and hooks. So I like it. Not too many features on this bitch. You get a shitload of Rittz on here, so y'all know that's the way I like it. So I can't really complain too much about the features actually being on there and them doing their thing. All right, let's get into the pros and cons of this bitch. Pros, 16 tracks. You get a shitload of Rittz, like I said, on this shit. You get a shitload of Rittz rapping on this shit. Lyrical content that is on here, like I did on his last review. He's no stranger to it, so he has some tracks on here where he's just talking about how ill he is, so that's a given. But I'll talk to you about some tracks. Track 5, Laugh, LAF, Lame as Fuck. That's another track where he's just describing how a lot of these MCs that he's listening to are lame as fuck. He made an acronym out of it, and he's talking about how they make him laugh, and he's doing it in his signature double time shit. Let me see. Track 6, Bounce, featuring Twista. I would say that that track was probably one of the strongest draws on this album, because people wanted to hear him rhyme with Twista, me included, and it was dope. I mean, it wasn't what I expected. I wish it could have been a little bit better. It seemed like, let me say this. Twista just came out with an album, which I should review, called The Dark Horse, and Twista had Tech 9 on there. And that song, you feel like you're that dude on the Maxell commercial that is getting blown away, and he's sitting there and you see his skin getting pulled back by the noise. Damn, I'm showing my age, but I was expecting that with these two on the track. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it was alright. Track 7, Living the Dream, dope track featuring Trader Truth. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention him as a feature. That track, they're talking about how most people are looking up to them or looking at them because they're MCs and assuming that everything's all good, that they're living a dream, when they're really not. They're still sort of struggling on some way or another. That's what I got from that. Track 9. I guess I could kind of mix in the pros and cons, because I kind of did that with track 6, Bounce, featuring Twista. But I guess I could mix it in here too, because track 9, Call 911. Dope track. I like it. It definitely exhibits Ritz's storytelling ability. The track is about people being victims of home invasion type shit. Like, I think in verse 1, because there's 2 verses in that one. I believe verse 1, I may be getting this switched up, but verse 1 is when the woman comes in and she thinks everything's all good, and then there's a dude waiting in her closet and basically takes advantage of her or whatever. And then verse 2, I think, is the one with the little kid that wasn't being treated right by the father, or felt that she wasn't being treated right by the father, and then the father woke up to the boyfriend above him with a bat, and he beat the shit out of him or whatever. Dope track. The con that I want to speak on, that I want to say about this track is that kind of blew the whole vibe of the album, because, you know, Rittz usually raps about you know, being ill, like I said, and he talks about it. I don't know, y'all know what I'm trying to say. This shit just, it seemed kind of horrorcore in a sense. It seemed kind of horrorcore, and it kind of took me by surprise. Not saying that the song was whack, but it just didn't fit the whole vibe of the album. Let me just put it that way. That's as simple as I could put it. But it was a dope track nonetheless. Track 10, Basket Case, like that track. That track, he's talking about how he goes crazy being a perfectionist, putting out some of this music, and how he's his own worst enemy and he goes crazy. And sometimes in the industry, how he feels that he would go out of his way to help other niggas, and then when it comes to if the shoe was on the other foot, would they do the same for him? What else could I talk about? Going Through Hell, featuring Mike Posner. Like the title implies, he's talking about the shit that he's going through to get to a good place. I'm going through hell to get to heaven, like Mike Posner sings on the hook. Track 4, Blow. I'm pretty sure y'all know what that track is about. And track 15, White Rapper. I'll leave the link to that. There's a video to that. That's pretty much self-explanatory as it is. Dope fucking track. Yeah, that's all I really want to talk about. I don't want to ramble too much. I got other videos to do. All right. My rating of this shit, I would give it a 7.75 up to a 8.5 or 8.75. Definitely a dope release this year. I liked his last one better, just a tad bit better. Y'all saw that it made my top 25 of last year, but this one's definitely a candidate for it. Y'all know it's all a toss-up. I gotta go through the numbers in my head before the end of the year, but this one could be on there, definitely. Shout out to Rittz, shout out to my nigga Tech 9, 7, Travis, all at Strange Music. Thank you for putting my shit on your blog or your site or whatever. And definitely shout out to Rittz, man. Dope MC, check him out. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. Everybody else, y'all know the deal. Leave your love, leave your hate. Most of all, subscribe, support dope shit, and that's it. Peace, bitches.